to do better than that. Or you'll have your head on. You'll have to do better than that. goes then.
I suppose it has. A pity it has become a hunting ground for bandits. But do not worry, my friend. Let us walk this path and make me whole again. I will restore this island to the glory it deserves, the King's Road included.
shouldn't be here. This is no place for the living. Poor sod. I pity you. I think my name was Mallory. I wandered in search of meaning, until one night, a very special dream came to me. In that dream, a beautiful, towering flower whispered to me, "You will find me, if you want me, in the garden." And so, I resolved to seek that place. This is what I found, from the rain to the gutter. I suppose it's what lies beyond those ever-watching, ever-listening doors. They wait for our next move. Soon, it will all be decided. When we finish our little conversation, all will be set in motion. That's a good question. Too much time spent. You should not ask me. The Druids created this place. They called it the Hall of Trials, as they sought to find a worthy pet for themselves. We all wanted to see the garden, to learn something from those cunning vermin. I doubt they expected such an outcome themselves. I cannot. The slaughter has come to pass. Many lives reduced to one. Humans have a rather dreadful tendency to descend into madness. You could try counting. We slaughtered one another. Poor Alice and Eda. Those were the last two I killed. It's staggering, isn't it? Perhaps we should... If I could ask, I truly wish to...
What's happening? In the name of the All-Mother, what are you doing? I could have stabbed you. Wait, I haven't seen you before. All right, true. Why didn't you, eh? You could have killed me. So you're not one of them bandits, then? Who are you, huh? This pin. I can't say I see it very clearly at this present moment, but it does look important. Very official. But I remember Fergus said something about all this, these emblems once. Oh, yes, I remember now. I welcome thee, ye, royal person, on behalf of the keepers. You are a great friend to our own. Welcome. Please, speak with Fergus. He's our quartermaster. He runs things around here in the captain's absence. He'll greet thee properly. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Open it up, boys!
Welcome! In the name of our eternally reigning Majesty King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Tables.
I am obliged to inform you that fighting those who actively break the law and reject the rule of the crown is the duty and pride of every subject. As Camelot's representative, I will be paying a bounty of 10 gold pieces for the death of each bandit roving the area, as long as adequate proof is provided.
I also recommend checking the bounty board for information on wanted criminals, especially those considered particularly dangerous. Please, state your business. Oh, someone finally...
Go chop off some... That's correct. My name is Lillian. I was sent here from the capital to see how the Horns of the South are handling the bandit problem, and also to encourage the Keepers to fight. The situation with the Pict and Del Rita savages is precarious. Too bad we can't get rid of them as easily as we did with the Druids. There have also been rumors that we might soon have a civil war on our hands, so Camelot cannot afford to... There are rumors that the Rita tribes want to unite, and that would mean open war with Camelot. As for those Pict savages, they've been growing bold, leaving their forest. For now, it's just been small scrimmages. But who knows how it would end? Well, you've probably heard about the Druids making human sacrifices by stuffing people into wicker puppets and setting them on fire. Well, the people decided to give them a taste of their own medicine. They rounded them all up and then sent them up in smoke. Oh, how they must have howled and sizzled. Too bad I couldn't see it. Yep, made human sacrifices, prayed to the dark gods, brought the weirdness back. Bunch of bastards. Good thing they're Wyrmfood now. Most of them, the survivors have supposedly taken refuge with savages in the woods, and one of them is rumored to be hiding in the Horns area. but whether that was before or after the... His name was Slaudyard. He was lurking near Blood Lake, a small pond where they used to throw the bodies of executed convicts. They say he would fish them out and use his magic to turn them into undead monsters. Supposedly, he started the Horns organized a manhunt. People say that the moment his body touched the surface of Blood Lake, the water turned red and it's been scarred since that day. Some say that Slaudyard came back from the dead and seeks revenge. But if you ask me, it's just a tale by local simpletons. I don't really have much more to tell. It's hard to get any updates here. I only know that the new Lancelot has not been mildly. The Witch Morgaine would have been burnt at the stake long ago if everyone weren't so afraid of her. And then we have the commoners who seem to keep forgetting their place and loudly demanding changes. None so far. Besides, the captain banned them from leaving the Horns of the South. Well, Camelot would send a group of knights with Sir Galahad at the head, and he's not interested in half measures. He'd probably burn down half the garrison, or hang them. By the way, did you know that people who are hanged rarely die from strangulation? Usually the sudden jolt causes the backbone to snap, which separates the head from the body. A while ago I saw someone hanged in the village, and it's true. One snap, and it's done. No matter what you say about him, he's... Oh, sure, plenty. Did you know that apparently if you cut off someone's head, they don't die straight away, but remain conscious for a few moments? If someone dies in a damp, closed-off space, sometimes, but very rarely, their body creates a thin layer of wax on the surface of their skin. I heard that a body decomposes in water 4 times faster than on land. I need to think if I... Go chop off some head. Oh, hey, if you're...
Let me guess. Camelot, no? Timberwall, also no? So you're not from the north? Ah, of course.
You must be from Connacht. Nowhere? Never heard about it. Must be a shithole like no other. And
You know, people are talking about rising unrest in the north, and a secret coalition preparing a coup at the highest levels of power.
to be honest, it's not gone too bad for them.
Well, sure. They want to establish a new order on our island. And it's not clear who's involved in the whole mess.
Maybe. Maybe our captain is even involved. Hell knows. They have their people everywhere. Damn it, you could be one of them too. Although when I look at you, I don't think so. You have such a stupid face. With all due respect, of course.
That's the case. They kinda blend in and live among us.
Wait a minute. I'm not
It doesn't make sense that the plague...
Power over us, of course.
You see? It takes one to know. Folks like us won't change anything. But we have to talk out loud.
You know, I've been thinking lately. What if King Arthur is just a stupid fairy tale? What if the nobles...
You know, one story for everyone. They drilled it into our... You finally get it. It's just a pity that there are so few like us. Well, we just have to keep going, eh?
Sir, I haven't seen you before. I wasn't expecting any guests, and you don't look like a new recruit. And yet, Odrin let you in. He's not drinking again, I hope. Most unfortunate, but that explains why you just strutted into the horns. I'm afraid I'll have to take action. The name's Fergus, and I assume you already know I'm the quartermaster here. Now state your business. And please, try to be convincing, or the walls of this fortress will be the last thing you'll ever see. Yes, I know. And that's why you're still standing in front of me. They mean that in times of trouble, these people will always find a safe haven. And that makes me wonder. If what you're saying is true, he must have had a deal with somebody well above my pay grade, and that leaves only the captain. However, if you're lying, then you might as well have just confessed to the murder of a Knight of the Round Table. But nobody's that much of a fool, I think. Fortunately for you, I've seen my fair share of morons in life, and you don't look like one. Fortunately for me, this pen only means that I'm to make sure you're safe in the horns. Nothing about helping you out with whatever you're up to. Anyway, welcome to the Horns of the South. Ninian. I knew the Red Death would take him. Damn shame. He was one of the good ones. You did right bringing this back. The Horns look after their own, even after they're gone. But, now that I think of it, how did you manage to get hold of his tag? Tortured? In the asylum? Brother Riagan said Ninian was too weak to survive the journey. They came for him, and we even held a symbolic keeper's burial for him. And what were you doing in the island asylum? You look fine, but if you were there, near him... I'm sorry this happened to you. Still, you have to understand, no risks can be taken with... He's not our first line of defense. The archers are. Every man here needs to have a job. And no offense to Odrin, but let's just say we can afford to lose him. I'm sure the hordes of visitors clamoring at our gates can survive the insult. I'm Captain Brandon's right hand. He deals with the serious matters I don't want to know anything about. Fine then. This is the keep. Anyone sworn in as a keeper lives here, unless they're no longer fit for service. If that happens, they get transferred to the village. Otherwise, they're not allowed to go there without my express permission. So if you ever see any of my boys down there looking shifty, feel free to report them. You're allowed to walk around the keep and the village, but if anyone catches you stealing, I'll take your hands. If you attack any of my men, I'll take your head. That enough for you? We've been having there are more and more of them roaming the area. Anyway, I suggest you go see Mark. He's our huntsman. He keeps us stocked with meat, so the lads don't have to live on fish alone. They get pretty grumpy when that happens. Right now, Marg is the only other person who's allowed to leave the keep. I'm not about to risk the life of our last link to the outside world, especially when you're so eager to lend a hand. There is a local legend about a dark druid named Slaughter? Slaughter, that was it. He was a necromancer rumored to be able to raise the dead and make them do his bidding. It's quite an old legend, though, so unless he managed to raise himself from the dead, I doubt he's behind this. It's old. From what I've heard, it even predates the Horns of the South. The keepers and the people from the village below used to bury their dead there, but after the flood, it's been pretty much abandoned. Yeah, damn druids. They flooded a village of innocent people just to show everyone they're still in power. Fat lot of good it did them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad we got rid of them. The things they could do were unnatural. It's not far, and it's hard to miss. But honestly, I'd suggest you go see Marg first. You don't really know what you're walking into, so if I were you, I'd try to learn as much as possible beforehand. The captain forbade anyone from leaving the keep, so I couldn't. Sure. Good. Try not to get yourself... Yes? Why not? Just as I thought. If you have friends among the knights, you'll want... Because there wouldn't be much... No, I don't take bribes. That way, your coin pouch won't... That's a shame. So what? And have you helped any of my people? First, I trust we understand. Good. It used to belong to the keep. You could say it was its beating heart. That village was where our lighthouses led the ships, and where the workers lived with their families. Until... What else was there to do? There weren't enough people to live there, and we wiped out most of them. But new ones showed up every now and then. Marg, our hunter, keeps an eye on the place. You can talk to him if you want. Depends on your idea of interesting. There's a weird statue with a gong, but I'm not sure how much of it is left. I don't know. Ask Marg. I'm pretty sure he just sits there all day instead of hunting. If you need rest... Excalibur. You want to pull it out? Well, be my guest. But unless you're King Arthur reborn, I wouldn't count on it.
I'm serious. If we don't... Not that I... It's a good thing you didn't start with calm down, or I'd have shoved my cleaver up your arse. Yeah, I'm pissed off. Because our gracious sovereigns recently decided to let in a bunch of refugees from the villages. They say they're running from... So now I have even more hungry mouth. Of course, I can... Oh. Well, I'm good for now. And?
Oh! What do you think they serve on the coast? Magnificent. Then go sit there for a week or two. Hell no. I'd rather stay useful here and drop dead at my stove than waste space over there. If someone's still fit to work but chooses to laze around all day instead, they should be kicked out, not rewarded with free beer.
If you're here to see the healer, don't... And I mean it! He's a know-it-all from Camelot, but the truth is, he doesn't know shit. All of those academic type. I came to him with a toothache, asked him to... He said my tooth is rotten, and then sent me to Osprey to get it pulled out. Sounds like horse crap. She knew how to make a proper potion for two. I even gave him my grandma's... Oh yeah? And then what? Another...
Oh, sorry. Do I know you? I'm Jan Heber, a physician raised in Camelot and trained in the Royal Academy. Is some local witchcraft I've been trying to make sense of. I guess I'll find out when I try it. Experience is the best teacher. Graham the Mad, a great Camelotian physician, used to say that a real doctor would never give his patient something he hadn't tried on himself first. A wise approach, which I follow myself. What irony? The pursuit of knowledge is always dangerous. It takes true guts to face the unknown, to realize, oh, that was unexpected. Yeah. Healing to me? I don't dream about anything anymore. Fortunately, oh no, every physician needs his secrets. There are side effects. You won't fall asleep for a while, but the moment you do, well, you'll feel like you died and came back to life, only to die again. I can endure it because I don't have a post to attend to. But, well, they already trust my word. Moreover, I'm in the position to raise my prices or to refuse to sell you medicine. I was classically trained in the... Most of this stuff shouldn't even be effective, yet it seems to work wonders on these simple-minded, tough-bodied people here in the south. Shipments from Camelot are late, and Fergus doesn't like when people complain. He truly cares about them. Why would you, though? Well, if you're not in the mood for sharing, you might have more success getting people to trust you with their personal... Aha, got it. So you're up for... Oh, now you're speaking. It does pay, but we haven't settled on a shared definition of... But all right, if you're a mercenary, then I do have a job for someone who'd be willing to... Back at the Academy, I found an ancient scroll written by the Druids. Forbidden knowledge, especially now, after the mob forced them all into a wicker man and burned every last one of them to ash. I finally deciphered it a little while ago. It describes a ritual that needs to be performed at night within a stone circle. And guess what? There's one in the nearby forest. I guess you already know what I need you to do, hmm? That is an excellent question, but I don't know. From what I've been able to decipher, it's a summoning spell to bring something or someone to our world. That being will share its great knowledge with the one brave enough to summon it. I need you to remember what it says and repeat it to me after you're back, word for word. Isn't it obvious? And here I am, thinking that everyone's already heard about the Charred Conclave. At some point, the villagers all around the island decided that the Druids were responsible for the Red Death. They rounded them all up in a massive wicker man north of the Forlorn Swords and burned them all to ashes. Hundreds of years of knowledge gone within the blink of an eye. But, well, that's what's bound to happen when you stop paying for people's education and invest in keeping the elites fed instead. In Camelot, maybe. I've spent my entire life digging through scrolls and books. I've been reading about their rites and the descriptions of their rituals. Look, I'm sure they were onto something. They knew much more than we do, but it feels like there's a veil wrapped tightly around that knowledge. It's like I need to find the right spell, the right ritual, something that will unwrap it for me.
Blessings upon you, stranger. It's a sickness. Many of my brothers would call it a curse. And yet, I wonder, did Kai not teach us that all things have a purpose? The weirdness twists and warps. Life grows, and that is what frightens the church most of all. What do you mean? Not much, unfortunately. I only know that many brothers dream, but I am surprised you know about them. Touchy. Know your worth, and the Prophet will... I'm afraid you are attributing too many characters. The horns of the South are my home. I'm afraid that I simply cannot believe your blasphemous... So it's your word against the word. As prepared as any man can, swords and fire will hold back beasts. But what of the creeping rot that twists flesh and mind alike? But there is one thing. The Excalibur they keep here. It has not been wielded in an... Well, even as it rests upon its pedestal, the air around it remains untouched. The tendrils of corruption that strangle stone and steel refuse to claim it. The Keepers may not see it for what it is, but I do. There is power in that blade, and if it truly holds back the weirdness... Safe? No. But tell me, what is safety, truly? A stronghold? A weapon? A prayer? I've seen men with all three fall just the same. So no, I do not feel safe. But I do feel... watched. and sometimes that is enough. Certainly. May Kai's...
Oi, friend. Because... Oh, of course. Ha! Unless you're a... Listen. Since you're free to wander about, you've probably... But perhaps we should start with something. I'll give you some notes on how to make armor. You gather the materials and get to work. Now that I... Oh! Of course, those pins are but, well, it's pretty obvious you wouldn't be able to beat a knight. And even if you found one already dead, you'd sooner nick his armor than a pin you knew nothing about. Either way, good for you.
Good to see you again. Huh? So, what do you need this time? Hey, not this time, my friend. I've run out of ink. In the meantime, I need to... You do know it needs to stay between us. Fantastic. On a recent night out of wrongs, it seems I may have left some sensitive documents at the bar. Documents, with Captain Fergus' seal. But not necessarily sealed by him. You know what I mean. I can't really go there right now. Could you get them back for me? I'm sure it won't be too much of a problem. Splendid! When you have the documents, meet me at the third crowing of the rooster. Or just find me. I'll be around.
Trying to be sneaky. Watch yourself.
Hey, you're heading to the village. Take this medicine to my father, will you? I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence, the medicine. If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass, and I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him. Not all keepers have been here their entire life. It serves me right for wanting to find him. Stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail. I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But, nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess. If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked, look, it's Camelot's orders. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not... Well, no. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. See you around.
Bloody hell, look, they do nothing but shut. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, and who are you? No, at least we're... So... And they're all tell... Listen, they wanted heat, then he just threw up. Hell, I should have been an healer. These herbs. Ah, good. Yeah, right. Why the sudden interest? Ah. Hold on. Hey, first of all, I'm not a crip. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? I mean... Why all the poking? Ah. You see, back in the day, being a keep... Nowadays... No, back in my day, there was none of this scum. My girl cried when I left her, but how was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? Heck knows what he came here for. What's with all the questions? Ah. I'm starting to like you. I like me brothers in arms back in my glory days. The kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now. All of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the keep. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. A hard loss it was. What's with all the questions? Ah. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Looked like... Ah, hell. Wanna know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now. Peace, you say? Problem is, bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their body. But when I drink, I usually pass out. And then I don't remember my dreams. So, I drink. Ah, me brother. Those...
What do you want? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole. But you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind. One evening there was a quarrel between our group. That they'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us. Hard. Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. Well, Cole went mad. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cave, bastard. This might sound silly. In the morning, we realized Cole started act. No, only that, well, it didn't make much sense. But he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Frank brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. Ellis was on watch that day. But from what he told us, I was in a strange place. I was trying to find him. I called out, but no one answered. We set up camp near the arch spire. We hope that with everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
Oh, Mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you... that you came through the village? Because I should have caught you right on the beach and asked what you're doing. And now that you're here, that's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan. What a load of crap. There's... Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but... Gods. Now both of them are sick. And Heber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day, and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all. No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. So whether it's me, or them... No... The deck? Nah. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of? You do that? Truth be, but not exactly. Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa... something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again. Surprised? Can't blame you. The only thing more mismatched than... But, yeah, where chairs don't wobble. Not exactly a secret I broadcast, but...
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local. No, Listen, half of them couldn't tell the... But that means... No. Impossible. What if... Holy moonshine. I remember. Sigibald. It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Aye, of course I have. He was a good man. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Things are getting weird. Well, he died like he lived, with a tankard in his hand. He was a prankster like no other. No problem.
Oi, Noel! What if I pulled Excalibur from that stone, but it broke, but only at the tip? Would I still get to be king, or not?
You're so daft, Randall. Some magical lass living in a lake gave the king the sword when he broke his own bashing four-armed skulls.
So, the one in the stone, what's that called? It's not Excalibur, is it?
Nah, the one in the stone was called, don't know. Sword in the stone, I guess.
Sod it, whatever. So, if I pulled the sword in the stone from the, stone, and it broke, but only a little, would I still get to be king?
What? No, you'd have to pull out all of it. Only the one who pulls out the sword gets to be king, yeah? Not the one who pulls out a bit of the sword.
Wait, but if you have a sword and it breaks, do you tell everyone that you have a sword or that you have a piece of the sword? Besides, you can always take it to the smith and he can fix a new tip.
But if he fixes a new tip, it won't be the same sword.
Are you off your rocker? How's it not the same sword? So, what is it now? A plowshare?
A shit share.
Listen, just listen to me. You've got it all wrong. You've got a sword, right? And then the tip breaks off, so you attach a new one, right? But then, let's just say it breaks again.
That's one shitty sword you have there.
Now, listen to me. Now, damn it. It breaks off, so you fix it with a new piece again. And then it happens again, and again, and again. Until you finally get yourself a whole new blade from the smith. So get this, if the whole blade was replaced, is it still the same sword?
Well, no, it isn't.
There you have it. You just need to be, what's the word? Rational.
Fine. Now let's have a drink. My throat's drier than a priestess purse.
See, now you sound rational.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? My name is Alyssa Murray, and I'm here with my husband. Not to brag, but we are rather Thank you. The savage tribes. Give it a few weeks and Well, my Duncan is here on business. I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the South. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. Pray, tell me. Oh, you see, I've had... Finally, someone sympathetic to... He told me to deal with it. Well, what he doesn't know can't hurt him. I'm not like the other high-born women. Fine. The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants. You'll do it for me. Maybe something nautical.
Hello, child. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I have tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Oh, and you don't look like one of the local. My name is Lady Elaine. Oh, biding my time, until a brave adventurer with a death wish comes along. Oh, surprising. I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which has the ability to dispel the wordness like a menhir can. Apparently, it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area. However, when I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters. The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read, can't you? But just be very careful. This is a very rare publication. Read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. A deal? And they say young... And? Oh, splendid, splendid. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found... And you're telling me. Come back when you've done more. Have you read? Good, according... That's right. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir, and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Well, good. Next, what was the Andraste's destination? Correct. Be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the Wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a Four-Dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste? Yes, you did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. According to Elvis, the Andraste was sunk by the legendary terror from the deep. But if you want to know more, ask your keeper friends. Now, all you need to do is find the wreck of the... Oh, if only I knew. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Can you imagine having such treasures at hand and choosing to completely ignore them? Oh, barbarians. Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Elvis. I've read it, of course, but I know nothing about sailing. I'm sure such a competent child as yourself will handle it much better. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook, and then tell me whether you managed to locate the wreck of the Andraste.
You seen all the refugees coming from the nearby villages? They're trying to get away from the bandits and the weirdness.
Aye, I've seen them. Can't blame them for wanting some safety. With bandits...
less attention, the better.
You need something?
Welcome to the Museum of the Horns of the South, the southernmost keep under Camelot's jurisdiction. My name is Ridderick, and I will be happy to introduce you to the rich history of this fascinating place. A history that I'd also like to bring your attention. It began in the year 542. It is the crowning achievement of a group of keepers who were fascinated with Sewell Firstfoot. It took them years of tremendous effort to finally open an institution devoted to research and education, worthy of commemorating Sewell's great legacy. The first keeper of the museum was Gladwin Flanagan, who was personally appointed by Captain Berach the Black. I don't doubt it, since Sewell Firstfoot was a remarkable figure, well known to every keeper. Drawing on available sources, we can claim with almost absolute certainty that Sewell Firstfoot was the first man who ever set foot on the island of Avalon. As you can probably guess, that's where his moniker... Oh, of course, Sewell was an outstanding commander. He was also the founder of the Horns of the South, so I can... The museum holds the collection includes big, and here you will find militaria. But I'd say all exhibits. Those would be the items that used to belong to Sewell Firstfoot. What is also worth mentioning? Yes, it's remarkable, isn't it? Sewell's boots were sewn from on the outer side of each shoe. You can find a decorative brass buckle with the motif of the Camelotian bear. It is notable that even after 600 years, they are still excellently preserved, which is unusual considering the high humidity in this area. It means of course it's interesting. The tableware is made of tin coated with silver. That detail and the... It is in the horn. It has a brass mouthpiece. Really? Usually people only come here when they've had too much to drink and decided that it'd be fun to come over and start mocking me, or touching the exhibits with their greasy fingers. The last person who seemed to actually be interested in the museum was Lady Elaine. We talked a bit about Captain Lex and the trip that ended tragically in the year 513. It was described in The Last Voyage of the Andraste. An interesting read, although I... Oh, that's excellent. But if you happen upon any... Do you mean the document with information about the course, weather, position, and speed of the ship, as well as all of the stops and other occurrences, kept more specifically the document... Here it is, though I doubt those records... Oh, no, we know that. Every keeper knows that the Andraste was swallowed by the ocean.
think I don't see ya? You looking for trouble?